The only thing that we are given, that is common to everyone, is time. All of us are different heights, different weights, different colors of pigmentation, different economic strata, different families, different ethnic backgrounds, we are from different cultures, but one thing we all have in common, and I'm talking about 7.2 billion people on Earth have the same common commodity, and that's time. Why is that so important? Because of the next statement, that is, what you are and what you become depends on how you use your time. You and I have the same amount of time. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours every day. The old and the young, the black, the white, the Indian, and the Asian are all given the same amount of time every day. So really point number 3 becomes very logical, and that is time cannot be stopped, but humans can control it. You cannot stop a day. You cannot stop an hour. They have no respect for you, but you can control how it will be used, which means that even though time is unstoppable, it is controllable. My beloved friends, I want you to listen carefully tonight, because what I am about to share with you has the power to change the course of your life forever. It has the ability to lift you from where you are right now and set you on a trajectory toward the destiny you were born for. This is not just another motivational talk. This is not simply an inspirational message. No, my friends, this is life and death, poverty and wealth, failure and success wrapped up in one principle. And the principle is this: the only thing a rich man and a poor man have in common is time, but the rich man uses his time well. Now think about that. The only thing. Not money, not education, not background, not connections, not where you were born, not who your parents were, not what neighborhood you grew up in. The only thing that levels the playing field between every human being on earth is time. 24 hours. One day. That is all you have, and that is all I have. God, in His infinite wisdom, decided to make time the most democratic gift ever given. He gave the same amount to the billionaire sitting in Manhattan as He gave to the man sitting on a park bench in Los Angeles. He gave the same amount to the CEO in Silicon Valley as He gave to the single mother working 2 jobs in Atlanta. He gave the same amount to the president in the White House as He gave to the teenager scrolling TikTok in his bedroom. The same 24 hours. No one gets more. No one gets less. And so the question is not, do you have enough time? The question is, what are you doing with the time you already have? Because time is the currency of life. It is the great equalizer. And while money can be lost and made again, while property can be repossessed and bought again, while jobs can be taken and found again, time can never be regained. Once it is gone forever. And that is why the wise treat time as treasure. In America today, I see a culture that spends time like water. I see people standing in line for hours for a fried chicken sandwich, but they won't spend 15 minutes reading a book that could change their financial future. I see people who will spend 5 hours binging the latest season of a show, but they can't spend 30 minutes writing down their goals for the year. I see people who will wake up at 10 a.m. on Saturday and waste the day scrolling through endless feeds, while another person wakes up at 5 a.m., runs 3 miles, spends an hour reading, spends another hour working on their business, and by the time the first person has opened their eyes, the other one has already invested half a day into their destiny. Same 24 hours. Different results. That is why poverty is not simply about money. Poverty is first about the mismanagement of time. Poverty is when you trade time for things that give you no return. Poverty is when you invest your hours into gossip, drama, distractions, and laziness. Wealth, on the other hand, is the wise stewardship of time. Wealthy people invest their hours. Poor people waste them. And until you learn how to manage your time, you will never learn how to manage wealth. Let me tell you something, money is attracted to time well managed. Success is attracted to time well managed. Opportunities are attracted to time well managed. Because life will always test you with little before it gives you much. That is why the Bible says, if you are faithful in little, you will be faithful in much. That little is not just dollars, it is days. If you cannot handle your morning, you cannot handle millions. If you cannot discipline your evenings, you cannot discipline enterprises. Look at athletes. Do you think LeBron James became wealthy the moment he signed his contract? No, he became wealthy when he was a teenager, in the gym, shooting 1,000 free throws, while his friends were at the mall. He invested his hours. Do you think Beyoncé became wealthy the day she sold out stadiums? No, she became wealthy as a young girl, rehearsing for hours in her living room while other children were outside playing. She invested her hours. The contract, the stadium, the fame, those were simply the harvest of years of time well invested. But in the same nation, in the same neighborhoods, at the same age, there were other teenagers who had the same 24 hours. They chose instead to sleep late, to party, to gossip, to waste. And today, those same people wonder why life is unfair. Life is not unfair, time was misused. In New York, I met a young man working as a doorman. He told me he spent every night watching YouTube videos, not of comedy or gossip, but of real estate investing. He said, Dr. Munroe, while I was opening doors for others, I was opening doors for myself in my mind. I was learning, studying, preparing. Within 5 years, that same young man purchased his first property, and then another, and then another. He used his time wisely. Meanwhile, one of his co-workers, standing at the same door, earning the same wage, used his nights drinking, partying, and complaining. 5 years later, one was a landlord, the other was still a doorman. What was the difference? Same city, same job, same hours. The difference was time management. America gives you opportunities, but opportunities mean nothing without preparation. That is why they say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But I want to tell you, opportunity. America gives you opportunities, but opportunities mean nothing without preparation. That is why they say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But I want to tell you, opportunity comes to everyone. The question is, when it comes, will you be ready, or will you still be wasting your hours? Some of you are praying for God to bless you. You say, Lord, I want a business. Lord, I want a house. Lord, I want success. And God says, what are you doing with the 24 hours I already gave you? If you cannot manage the day, why should God give you the decade? If you cannot manage 24 hours, why should He give you 24 employees? If you cannot manage a morning, why should He give you a mortgage? That is why the scripture says, redeem the time, for the days are evil. To redeem means to buy back, to treat as valuable, to not waste. God is telling you, your time is precious. Protect it. Manage it. Invest it. Because the evil of our generation is not just violence or corruption, it is distraction. Distraction is the new poverty. America is full of distractions, and many of you are poor not because of lack of opportunity but because of an addiction to distraction. The devil doesn't have to kill you, he just has to waste your time. Because if he wastes your time, he wastes your life. You don't have to die young to die poor. All you have to do is waste your hours. 10 years later, you look back and say, what happened? And the answer is simple, you traded your time for nothing. But hear me tonight. As long as you are breathing, you still have time. You may not be able to recover yesterday, but you can redeem today. You may not be able to rewrite the past, but you can write the future. The next 10 years of your life are going to arrive whether you prepare or not. The question is, who will you be when they arrive? Will you still be where you are, or will you be where you were destined to be? That depends on what you do with your hours. My friends, I want you to make a decision today. I want you to say to yourself, no more wasted hours. No more wasted days. No more wasted years. I will treat my time like treasure. I will invest it like capital. I will protect it like property. Because my destiny is too valuable to be stolen by distraction. Because the truth is simple, the only thing a rich man and a poor man have in common is time. But the rich man uses his time well. My friends, let me go deeper, because I feel some of you are still missing it. You see, we treat time as though it is something that will always be available. We act as though we can just waste a year, waste a season, waste a decade, and then somehow life will pause and wait for us to catch up. But life does not wait. The clock does not stop. Time does not pause to pity you. Every second that passes is a second closer to your future, and the question is, are you moving toward it prepared or unprepared? Because time will move with or without you. Look at the streets of America today. Every city tells a story of time management. Walk down Wall Street in New York, and you will see men and women in suits, walking with purpose, checking their schedules, moving from meeting to meeting. And if you walk just a few blocks away, you will find another group of men sitting on the corner, smoking, laughing, talking about the same dreams they had 10 years ago. Both groups have the same 24 hours. One group manages it, the other wastes it. The city will reward one, and it will punish the other. Let me show you how serious this is. There's a man who wakes up in Dallas, Texas, at 5 a.m. He drives for Uber before his regular shift at work. During lunch, he reads books about how to become a real estate investor. At night, he works on a small side business online. He is tired, but he is investing his hours. 10 years from now, he will not be in the same place. He will own properties, he will own businesses, he will have freedom. And at the very same time, there's another man in Dallas who wakes up at 10 a.m., complains about not having enough money, complains about the government, complains about his boss, spends the day watching television, spends the evening playing video games, and spends the night on social media. 10 years from now, he will still be in the same apartment, still complaining, still broke. Same city. Same opportunities. Same hours. Different outcomes. Why? Because the only thing they had in common was time, and one used it wisely. You see, friends, poverty is not an accident. Poverty is a result. Wealth is not an accident. Wealth is a result. Results always follow management. The rich are not rich because they are special. They are rich because they learn to manage what everyone else wastes. Some of you are asking, Dr. Munroe, why do some people seem to have so much success while others struggle all their lives? The answer is in their daily routine. Success is not in the big decisions, it is in the small daily ones. Success is not an event, it is a habit. And a habit is just how you spend your time. Let me prove it to you. The most successful people in America are not necessarily the smartest. They are not always the most talented. But they are the most disciplined with time. Look at Warren Buffett. He spends 5 to 6 hours every day reading. Think about that. While other people are running around saying they are too busy, this billionaire is sitting down with books, investing in wisdom. Look at Elon Musk. He schedules his entire day in 5-minute blocks. Every moment accounted for. Why? Because he knows time is the most valuable asset he has. Meanwhile, the average person cannot even tell you where their last 3 hours went. My friends, your life is made up of whatever you give your time to. If you give it to excuses, your life will produce excuses. If you give it to discipline, your life will produce results. If you give it to entertainment, your life will entertain you but never elevate you. If you give it to wisdom, your life will reward you with success. I was in Atlanta some years ago, speaking to a group of students. One young man came up to me afterward and said, Dr. Munroe, I want to be successful like you. Can you give me one secret? And I said to him, show me your schedule. He looked confused. He said, what do you mean? I said, your schedule will tell me if you will succeed or fail. Show me how you spend your time, and I will show you your future. Because the truth is, your calendar is a prophecy. It is a picture of where you are going. If your calendar is filled with wasted hours, then your future is filled with wasted potential. If your calendar is filled with intentional investment, then your future is filled with reward. That is why I tell people all over America, stop dreaming and start scheduling. A dream without a schedule is just a fantasy. But a dream with a schedule is a destiny. And let me tell you something else. Success is not about being busy. Many of you think because you are busy, you are productive. But busyness is not productivity. Some of you are busy all day and yet nothing in your life is moving forward. You are busy answering emails, busy gossiping, busy complaining, busy helping everyone else but never investing in yourself. That is why you are tired but still broke. You are busy but not fruitful. The rich do not confuse activity with productivity. They know how to separate what is urgent from what is important. Poor people chase what is urgent, rich people focus on what is important. Think about Jesus. He was on earth for only 33 years, and his ministry lasted only 3 years. And yet, he accomplished more in those 3 years than many men accomplish in a lifetime. Why? Because he was intentional with his time. He said, I must work the works of him who sent me while it is day, the night comes when no man can work. He knew time was limited, so he used it wisely. And the same is true for you. You don't have forever. You don't have unlimited years. Your life is a vapor, the Bible says, here today and gone tomorrow. And so every hour you waste is an hour you can never get back. That is why wealthy people are obsessed with time. They hire assistants, they use planners, they delegate, they prioritize. They understand the value of an hour. Meanwhile, poor people give away their hours freely to anyone who asks. They spend hours arguing on social media. They spend hours watching sports of men who are already millionaires while they themselves remain broke. They spend hours in front of a television that adds nothing to their destiny. And then they say, I don't have enough time. No, my friend, you had time, you just wasted it. And let me say this with love, some of you are broke not because of the devil, not because of your parents, not because of racism, not because of the government, not because of the system, you are broke because you waste time. Yes, there are challenges in America. Yes, there are systems that make life difficult. But in the end, the greatest enemy is not outside, it is inside. The mismanagement of time. I know people who came to this country with nothing but a suitcase and an accent, and today they are millionaires. How? They used their hours. And I know people who were born here with every advantage, free education, resources, opportunities, and today they are still broke. How? They wasted their hours. It is not where you start, it is how you spend your time. You want to change your life? Start with your mornings. Rich people own their mornings. Poor people waste them. Rich people rise early, plan, pray, read, exercise, focus. Poor people hit the snooze button, wake up late, rush out the door, already behind before the day has even started. How you start your day is a prophecy of how you will end it. You want to change your finances? Look at your evenings. Rich people spend evenings learning, building, networking, investing. Poor people spend evenings watching 3 hours of Netflix and 4 hours of social media. And then they say, I don't have time to start a business. No, you do. You just traded your time for entertainment. I tell people all the time is money. No, more than money, time is life. Because money can come back, but life cannot. If someone steals your wallet, they have stolen money. But if someone wastes your time, they have stolen a piece of your life. That is why I protect my time. That is why you must protect your time. Don't let anyone steal it. Don't let anyone waste it. Don't let anyone distract you from destiny. Because in the end, when you stand before God, He will not just ask you, what did you do with your money? He will ask, what did you do with your time? Did you invest it in your purpose? Did you waste it in distractions? Did you use it to build, or did you throw it away? So my friends, I challenge you, audit your time. Sit down this week and write down how you spend every hour. You will be shocked. You will realize you are not as busy as you think. You are simply undisciplined. And the moment you discipline your hours, you will discipline your destiny. Because remember, the only thing a rich man and a poor man have in common is time. But the rich man uses his time well. I want to press this into your spirit tonight, because this truth will either make you or break you. You see, life is simply the sum total of how you spent your time. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. You will not be remembered for what you wished you could have done. You will be remembered for what you actually did. And what you did will always be determined by how you used your hours. America is filled with people who live on someday. They say, someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll go back to school. Someday I'll write that book. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll get my life together. But let me tell you something, my friend, someday is not on the calendar. There is no someday. There is only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you don't put it on one of those days, it will never happen. Dreams die in the graveyard of someday. And the reason most people never move forward is because they think time will wait for them. They believe, I'll get to it when I have more time. But listen carefully, you will never have more time. You already have all the time you will ever get. The issue is not more time. The issue is better management of time. Think about this. A billionaire in America does not have more hours than you. He just uses them differently. While you are scrolling, he is strategizing. While you are gossiping, he is growing. While you are watching others live their lives on TV, he is writing his own story. The only thing you share in common is time, and what separates you is how you use it. I was walking through a neighborhood in Miami one morning, and I saw two young men sitting on a porch. It was 11 a.m., and they were still half asleep, drinking beer, talking about who won the game last night. And then, down the same street, I saw a woman jogging, earphones in, listening to an audiobook on leadership. She stopped at her house, pulled out a notebook, and began writing notes from what she was hearing. Same block, same neighborhood, same hours. 10 years from now, who do you think will be further ahead? The woman who invested her morning, or the men who wasted theirs? You see, in America, the poor waste their mornings, and the wealthy own them. That is why wealthy people wake up at 4:30, at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock. Because the early hours are the golden hours. No phone calls, no distractions, no noise. Just focus. That's when they pray, that's when they read, that's when they plan, that's when they create. And by the time the average person wakes up, they have already invested half a day into their destiny. Let me tell you another story. A young man in Chicago once told me, Dr. Munroe, I want to be a writer, but I never have time. I asked him, what time do you wake up? He said, around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I said, what time do you go to bed? He said, around midnight, maybe 1 a.m., but I watch TV before I fall asleep. And I said, there's your problem. You have time, you are just misusing it. If you wake up at 5 o'clock, you'll have 4 hours to write before the world even starts moving. By the end of the year, you could have finished 3 books. The issue is not time, the issue is discipline. He looked at me and said, I never thought about it like that. My friends, how many of you are like that young man? You say you don't have time, but the truth is you are wasting time. Let me make it even clearer. If you spend 2 hours every evening watching television, in 1 year that is 730 hours. Do you know what you could do with 730 hours? You could learn a new skill, you could start a business, you could write a book, you could master an instrument, you could earn a degree online. Instead, you gave those hours to entertainment that gave you nothing in return. Multiply that by 10 years, and you have thrown away 7,300 hours, almost a full year of your life, on something that added no value to your destiny. And yet you wonder why the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. The rich invest their hours, the poor waste them. That is why I say time is more valuable than money. If you lose money, you can get it back. If you lose your house, you can build another. But if you lose an hour, it is gone forever. That is why the wealthy treat time like treasure. They budget it. They schedule it. They guard it. They say no to anything that wastes it. The poor, on the other hand, treat time like trash. They throw it away freely, they let anyone take it, they let television take it, social media take it, gossip take it. And at the end of their life, they realize they gave away the most valuable thing they ever had. I met a man in Los Angeles who told me he wanted to be an actor. I asked him, "What do you do with your evenings?" He said, "I hang out with friends, go to clubs, relax." I said, "Do you take acting classes?" He said, "No, I can't afford them." I said, "Do you practice your craft at home?" He said, "Not really, I don't have time." And yet, just down the street, another man was working 2 jobs during the day, but at night he was taking acting classes, memorizing scripts, networking with people in the industry, using every spare hour to prepare. 10 years later, the second man was starring in films, and the first man was still saying, "I wish I had my big break." My friends, the big break comes to those who prepared for it with their time. And this applies to every area of life. Relationships, careers, health, spirituality. If you invest time in your marriage, it will grow. If you waste time in your marriage, it will decay. If you invest time in your health, exercising, eating right, it will flourish. If you waste time with junk food and laziness, it will fail. If you invest time in prayer, in reading the Word, in growing spiritually, you will be strong in the Spirit. If you waste time, your soul will be weak. Everything rises and falls on how you spend your hours. America is a land of opportunity, but opportunity without preparation is wasted. That is why so many people win the lottery and end up broke. They had millions dropped into their hands, but because they never learned how to manage time, they could not manage wealth. Within 5 years, it was gone. Because money without time management is a curse. So I want you to hear me clearly, your future is not decided by your wishes. Your future is decided by your habits. And your habits are decided by how you spend your time. Show me your daily routine, and I will show you your destiny. This is why Jesus often spoke about stewardship. He said the kingdom of heaven is like a master who gave talents to his servants, 5 to one, 2 to another, 1 to another. And he went away, and when he came back, he asked them, "What did you do with what I gave you?" The ones who invested multiplied their talents. The one who buried his talent wasted his time, and the master called him wicked and lazy. My friends, your time is your talent. And one day, God will ask you, "What did you do with the 24 hours I gave you every day?" Will you say, "I wasted it on entertainment, gossip, laziness"? Or will you say, "I invested it in purpose, discipline, destiny"? This is why the Bible says, "The days are evil, so redeem the time." To redeem means to buy back, to protect, to make valuable. In other words, don't waste it. Time is life. To kill time is to commit suicide on your destiny. And so I challenge you today, write down how you spend your hours. Write down what you do with your mornings, your afternoons, your evenings. Be honest with yourself. You will discover that you are not too busy, you are simply undisciplined. And the moment you discipline your time, you will see your life change. Because at the end of the day, rich or poor, young or old, black or white, educated or uneducated, we all have the same 24 hours. The only difference is what we do with them. The rich man uses his time well. The poor man wastes it. And that, my friends, is the difference between success and failure, between wealth and poverty, between destiny fulfilled and destiny wasted. Let us now come to the heart of this matter. Because when all is said and done, when the dust of life settles, when the years have passed, and when we look back at our journey, there will be one question echoing through eternity: what did you do with your time? You see, life is not measured in years, it is measured in moments. The average American lives about 78 years. That sounds like a long time, but when you subtract the years you sleep, the years you spend working jobs you do not enjoy, the hours wasted in traffic, the hours spent on entertainment, you discover that the actual time you have to build your destiny is shockingly small. That is why you cannot afford to waste even one day. Because every day wasted is a slice of your destiny thrown away. Some of you think you have tomorrow. You say, I'll start tomorrow. I'll change tomorrow. I'll discipline myself tomorrow. But my friend, tomorrow is not promised. You only have today. That is why the Bible says, "This is the day the Lord has made, we will rejoice and be glad in it." Today is the only day you are guaranteed. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not promised, today is all you have. What will you do with it? I once spoke to a group of young people in Los Angeles. I told them, you think you are young, but time is moving faster than you think. Before you know it, you will be 30. Then 40. Then 50. And you will either look back with gratitude or with regret. A young man stood up and said, "Dr. Munroe, I have plenty of time." I looked him in the eyes and said, "Son, time is the one thing you cannot guarantee. You may have breath today and lose it tomorrow. The question is not how much time you have, the question is what you are doing with the time you have." Let me tell you something sobering. The cemeteries of America are filled with wasted time. Buried under the ground are books that were never written, businesses that were never started, songs that were never sung, ideas that were never acted on, inventions that were never created. The richest place on earth is not the diamond mines of South Africa, it is not the oil fields of the Middle East, it is not the banks of Wall Street. No, the richest place on earth is the cemetery. Because it is filled with unfulfilled potential, with time that was misused. And I do not want you to add to that cemetery. I do not want your destiny to be buried with you. I do not want your dreams to die inside of you. I want you to live full and die empty. To pour out every gift, every talent, every dream, every vision before you leave this earth. But that will only happen if you learn to manage your time. So let me make this practical. If you want to change your life, you must first change how you spend your hours. Start with your mornings. Stop hitting the snooze button. Wake up with intention. Use that first hour to pray, to read, to write, to think, to plan. Do not give the first hour of your day to social media. Do not give it to entertainment. Give it to your destiny. Second, plan your day. Do not let life decide your schedule. You decide your schedule. Write down what you will accomplish. Prioritize what is important. Eliminate what is a distraction. If it does not move you toward your purpose, it does not deserve your time. Third, protect your evenings. Do not waste them. Use them to grow, to build, to invest, to learn. Spend time with people who challenge you, not people who drain you. Cut off relationships that waste your hours. Because every relationship is either an investment or an expense of your time. Fourth, rest strategically. I am not telling you never to relax. Rest is important. But rest should be purposeful, not wasteful. Rest so that you can be recharged to do more, not so that you can escape responsibility. And finally, evaluate your time weekly. Look back at how you spent your hours. Were you investing, or were you wasting? Were you moving forward, or were you standing still? Success requires honest reflection. Now let me warn you, when you begin to value your time, people will not understand you. They will call you strange. They will say, "You've changed. You don't hang out like you used to. You don't party like you used to. You don't waste time like you used to." And you must smile and say, "Yes, I have changed. Because my destiny is too important. My purpose is too valuable. My time is too precious. Because here is the truth, everyone wants success, but not everyone wants to pay the price of managing time. Everyone wants wealth, but not everyone wants the discipline of saying no to distraction. Everyone wants to be remembered, but not everyone wants to give their hours to what matters most. And so we come full circle. The only thing a rich man and a poor man have in common is time. Not money, not background, not education, not opportunity. Time. 24 hours. That is all. The difference between the two is simply how they use it. The rich invest it. The poor waste it. So my beloved friends, I ask you tonight, what will you do with your 24 hours? Will you waste them on gossip, entertainment, distraction, laziness? Or will you invest them in growth, discipline, wisdom, purpose? Because your destiny is in your hands, and your hands are holding the clock. Do not let another day slip away. Do not waste another hour. Do not kill another minute. Treat every second as sacred. Use every hour with intention. Because when you do, you will discover that time is not your enemy, it is your servant. And if you serve your time well, your time will serve you well. And when you reach the end of your journey, you will not look back with regret. You will look back with gratitude. You will say, I lived full. I poured it all out. I managed my hours, and my hours built my destiny. My friends, time is life. Do not waste it. Invest it. Because the only thing a rich man and a poor man have in common is time, but the rich man uses his time well. If this message has blessed you, if it has awakened something in your heart, if it has stirred you to value your hours like treasure, then I want you to do one thing: take action today. Not tomorrow. Today. Because today is all you have. And as you do, I invite you, like and subscribe to the channel.